Hey YouTube, it's your girl Floyd fan since 2000 with another review for Trueblood, the season finale, season 6, episode 10, entitled Radioactive. Starts off with Suki looking at the dirt where Terry's being buried, and her and Alcide asks her if she needs a ride to Terry's house, to Arlene's house, and she basically goes, I'm gonna walk there. You could walk with me, or you can yeah, she offers to he can walk with her. Then they talk, and then he's just talking about how he wishes he could be like her, a telepath. How he respects what she did by telling everybody who she was, that she was a telepath. And then she was just like, I wish I wasn't. I wish I wasn't a telepath. And he was just like, I don't. I wish I was. I wish I could read your mind. I have this tender moment. I'm like, oh my God. I hope they just stay good friends. And then he goes, you smell that? And then he noticed all these vampires are like out in the daylight, and everybody's just like, oh my God, what happened? Then you see Pam and everybody, and they just all in Bill's backyard, naked, dancing, having sex. And it's just like, oh my goodness, what the heck is going on? And then Suki notices that she sees, she's getting ready to go see what's wrong. And Alcide's like, don't go, it's not safe. She's just like, let me go. I can protect myself. So she goes and she sees Violet sucking on Jason. And she just goes, what the heck is going on, Who is this? And then goes, oh, hey, Sook, this is Violet. She's, I'm hers. And, she's protecting me. She feeds on me. And then, basically she, I guess, is happy that Violet is protecting him and whatnot. He goes, I kind of feel like you did when Bill was protecting you and you were his. And then Violet comes over and he introduces her. He's like, oh, this is my sister Suki. She goes, Suki. He like, tell her you're my sister. And then Suki goes, I'm his sister. She goes, you're his sister, you're my sister. And she kisses her on the lips. I'm like, oh my God, what the heck is going on? And then you can see the rest of them just having sex. And then Tara and Pam walk up, and Tara gives Suki a big hug, and Pam gives her a hug. And I'm like, oh my God. Pam's just like, oh my God, I'm so happy to see you. I never thought I would be so happy to see you, but I am. I have this moment, and then Bill's in the house, and he just realizes that his Lilith power is gone, and that him and Jessica have this moment where he goes, I sacrificed Suki to get the Warlord's blood to save you all, and I'm sorry I did that. And then he was just like, you can make amends with it, you can help her. He could tell he felt genuinely sorry about that, and I think the old Bill is starting to come back, and I was so happy to see that. And then what else happened? And then Pam she's just back to her old self. She's like, I think my high is wearing off. And then she goes, Eric being gone, I really miss him and stuff. And she just goes, you can't leave him, leave us. And then Pam goes, don't make me, Tara. I don't want to, but I will release you. And she just kind of says how she wants to find out where Eric is, shoots into the sky, and that's the last time we see her. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen? And then Suki goes to see what Warlow's up to, and she just kind of offers him something. She's like, about being yours forever. I was just wondering, maybe if you want to date me for a while, that could be better than forever and eternity. And he gets frustrated and goes, I waited over 6,000 years for you. You think I just want to date you? She was just like, well, I really don't, the plan didn't work as we planned, so do I have to be yours forever? He slaps her. And I was like, oh my God. No, he didn't. And then he just goes, I wanted to be, you need to be with me forever. Chains her, or ties her to this tree, and starts doing this marriage ritual. And then, what else happens? Anyway, and she is like, oh my God, what do I do? And Bill wants to help her. So what happens is he and Jason and Andy, they get Alan Andy's daughter, and they go and try to save Sookie. They have a problem trying to get into that world, but they're like, you got to get her real mad. Violet's like, I'll get her mad. They got her mad. She went into the, you know, did her little light thing, and next thing you know, she's in that world, and you know, she's trying to save Sookie. They like, oh my god, they want to fight Warlow. Him and Bill get into it, and then they kind of rescue Sookie, and they take Sookie back to her house, and they just leave Bill in the world, and in the fairy world, and him and Warlow have it out. Then next thing you know, Bill's out of the world. I don't know how he got out of that fairy world, because remember in the old episode, Sookie blasted him out, and I don't know how he got out. But anyway, they trying to get Sookie to, you know, wake up or whatever, and then, you know, they have all these guns and stuff, Jason and Andy, and they're trying to shoot him and stuff, and then Warlow comes in, and he just goes through everything, and he's just looking for Sookie, and then you realize that Sookie is not in, you know, her bedroom. She's in the bathroom, in the bathroom trying to get her light together, trying to kill Warlow. And then Warlow locks Andy, Jason, and other people into that cubby where Eric used to be. And he kind of puts his light on the door. And next thing we know, they're in the bathroom, and Andy's, or not Andy, but Sookie's grandfather comes out of this little dimension world, comes and grabs Warlow, and then Sookie stakes him, and then he falls into the puddle. Somehow Jason comes up. I don't know how they got out of that cubby hole. Adeline tries to use her light to break the cubby hole. I don't know. A lot of this stuff was so unexplained. It really was not. I hated this season finale, and I'm just going to tell you that right now. Next thing we know, he's dead. He turns into a puddle of blood, and then everybody all the vampires who could walk out into the sun, they lose that ability, and they're like still in the dark now. They start to burn, and then Lord behold, what do we see? But Eric Northman in Sweden on the beach chair sunbathing, reading, and next thing you know, he starts to burn, and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. And he gets up, and he's totally naked. They show his part, and I saw it, but I was just more interested. I'm like, get out of the sun, get out of the sun. Next thing you know, he burns up, and then that's the next thing. We don't see him anymore. We don't know if he's dead, presumed dead, whatever. They don't see Pam for the rest of the season, or for the rest of the episode. Next thing I'll know, 6 months later, and everybody is going to church. They really want to have this, you know, vampire human, I guess, compromise or whatever. They trying to see who has this Hep V or has this virus or whatever. And then before we know, we go in there, and I'm like, okay, see what's no. But before that happens, 6 months pass, and we see Sookie. We see Bill on TV promoting his book. I'm like, okay, good. See Sookie looking at him, and lo and behold, we see Al C coming out looking good with his shirt. And then we find out that him and Sookie are together now. And I'm like, what the heck? They just had to pair her with Sookie. Oh my god. I'm recording. Anyway, we find out they're together, and I'm just like, what? I was just not here for Alcide and Sookie hooking up. I like them as friends, but nothing more. Anyway, we see the church scene, and they introduce everybody, and then we see that they introduce Mayor Sam, and I'm like, he's the mayor now? And then Sookie and Alcide, they go to church, and Sookie looked like a 50-year-old grandmother on the arm of her grandson. I don't know what she had on. She looked like Little Bo Peep meets Driving Miss Daisy. I wasn't here for her outfit, her being without seat. I was like, what? I was just like, 6 months passed, and this is what we got to see. I like the time lapse. I just didn't like what happened. I'm talking about the church scene in the next part. Anyway, rate, comment, and subscribe. I just can't get over this episode. I'll be talking about it in my next part.